Hello my crafty friends, welcome back to my channel for another process video. Today I'm going to be working in the All About Me journal that I have that is a pocket page spread. This is something that I started last year in January and I love this project so much that I'm continuing on. So in the month of January, it is my birthday month, so it always kicks off to a big celebration of another year on this world, or around this world I should say, and it's just I really wanted to focus this year on a lot of different things. So this one was going to be a little bit more deeper in thought, but like as far as personal, what my thoughts were. And I didn't want it to be super heavy of what it was going to be, being that all the pictures I had is what you see for this month. It was a different a change of a month, but it was all of my friends celebrating my birthday with me. And then I took this one picture of me because I wanted to really kind of discuss what my thoughts were and how I just wanted this year to be a year that I truly focus on me. This is something that I don't really tend to do, and I've always set goals in the past before, like, oh, I want to try to lose, 5 or 10 pounds this year, kind of get to the gym more often than once a week, those type of things. But I wanted to actually really focus more internally. And so like I said, this one's going to be a little bit more deeper in thoughts of my journaling, but I didn't want it to be super heavy, being that it was a fun birthday layout. Now, any time I do these type of pocket page spreads, I always use Studio Calico kits. I love their kits. This is actually the 2022, even though I am subscribed to the 2023 subscription. I didn't realize that once you sign up with them, if you don't let them know that you want to cancel, it just kind of automatically renews itself. And so I like everything cohesive, so I'm going to continue that, but I'm going to get started on using the 2022 products. So this is, like I said, the January of 2022 kit. And I have to say that with our kits, they usually have like 2 different color palettes you can go. And at first I was going in more of a sherbet pink and orange type of color combination. And then I realized, wait a minute, I have that wood veneer that has January, or it says January, it is green. And so I was like, I need to incorporate more green. Now, I didn't really have any 4x6 cards, so I went through older kits by Studio Calico, and I found one that could have worked, which was the floral one, but I decided to not use that. So then I just tried other ones that I found in, like I said, previous older kits. And I believe I'm going to stay with this one right here, which has the little speckled dots. I think that was the one that actually originally came in this kit. I can't remember because I did this a couple weeks ago and I was looking through a lot of my stash. Now, one thing I really wanted to focus on this year that I didn't do really much last year is I would kind of get nervous of using maybe the products, like as far as embellishments that they used. I felt like maybe it just really didn't flow with my pocket page spread. So this year I'm really trying to step out of my comfort zone, and whether or not they work, just incorporate them in and try to make them to where it looks all cohesive. So of course with that they had these fabric patches, and that's what you see with the little flag on there with it's got a floral on it. And then they had these butterflies. Now they came in, I believe, 4 different color combinations in 3 different sizes. Now I'm going to pick, I believe, all the small ones, and I'm really starting to like how this starts to look because it's starting to flow. It looks cohesive, even though butterflies have absolutely nothing to do with my birthday layout, but I'm going to make it work by having them kind of, you know, staggered all around the layout. Now, I will say though, when I was going through the butterflies, I couldn't tell if there was a plastic coating that a lot of companies sometimes do when they make acetate pieces. And so I almost wasn't going to remove it, but then as I was like picked up one, I felt the ridge, kind of like the lift of it, and you'll see me here later on if I haven't done so already, where I actually remove the plastic piece. Now, as I was doing that, I realized, well, wait a minute, I just incorporated a little bit of blue. Blue on the butterfly, there's blue on that fabric tag, and I thought, all right, so I'm going to incorporate all the colors that came into the kit, so that way it just kind of flows and I can pull more product. So what I decided to do was I already have blue on that butterfly, I have blue on that fabric tag, and then I picked a different 3x4 card that says it's time to write a new story. And I really like that one because it's perfect for the beginning of the year. And then I went through my stash and I found my simple stories. They're like a letter book. I'm sure they still have them in the store. At least I hope they do. But I love these books. I bought 3 of each because you truly don't get enough letters, and that's one thing I can't stand is if I can only write one letter and that's it, or not one letter but one word, using like a package. And so that kind of drives me crazy. So what I did was I bought 3 of each, and I'm just going to go ahead and take the numbers that you see here, and I'm going to incorporate where it says January of 2023. Now, I know you see me I'm gluing down everything. The adhesive is fine. But if you're just now joining me, I will tell you that in the past, I've said this before, that I used to use dotted runner, and the adhesive eventually, even from packaging, it finally starts to kind of like disintegrate in a way. And so I found that using tacky glue, permanent glue, keeps it there and will not fall off, because I've had that happen where I've made my daughter and my son's album. A year later, everything was just falling apart, and it took me weeks to put everything back together. And I felt like I re-scrapbook all those albums, which was just to me a waste of time and a waste of creative time for me to create new layouts. All right, so then I went back to working on the pocket page spread, and I decided to use this card, and that is because it did have a flag on it that said, I think, welcome or hello 2022, and obviously I'm in 2023. Now, I could have easily used this card, and this is why, because kind of what started me to do this project was back in 2018. I did an all favorites traveler's notebook of just all the things that I loved in as far as music during that year, food, like a meal that I might have loved. We got our dog, like that was like a favorite time for me, a memory. And so that's kind of where I got the idea of doing a all about me page. And then how I chose my format was because when I started working on my kids' albums, I believe it was their second album, I realized that if I was to document every single picture that I ever taken, my kids would have hundreds and hundreds of albums, and I kind of wanted to narrow that down. I wanted to keep it at least one a year, or even less. And what I decided to do was create 1 or 2 12 by 12 layouts, and then all these little tiny pictures that maybe not really have a story, but they were just cute. I wanted them for memory. I incorporated them in a pocket sleeve, because a pocket sleeve, to me, I feel like each pocket represents its own little layout, and that's kind of how like I envision like when I do my layouts. And so I really started incorporating to where I got very comfortable doing that. And so by the time I came up with my idea of documenting about myself so I could leave something behind for my kids when the day that I'm not here, and I don't mean to get all dark, but it's a fact. It's one day I'm not going to be here, and I want to give them something to where they were like, oh my gosh, mom liked this book, or this is why she liked the book, or this TV show, and just little things like that, or gosh, mom was going through a hard time and I never even knew. And so um, that's kind of where I got the format is. I absolutely loved documenting in a pocket page spread. If you haven't done so, give it a try. If you do, not Project Life, but if you do like a December daily, you kind of already are doing pocket pages in a way, because some of the layouts are in pocket page spreads. So just really fun just to kind of mix it up. All right, so now I'm just going to go ahead and glue everything down, and on that one card that you see on the bottom left hand side, there was like this little trail, and I thought it was perfect for the butterfly. It kind of like when you start here and how it ends better, and I thought that was fitting for when we went to the restaurant. We were hungry, we had just had a glass of wine at one of the wineries, and now we're ready for food. And so we were all starving, and that's kind of how it started. And then it ended with I got the street tacos in 3 different styles, and it was delicious. Now I'm going to go ahead and write my journaling instead of typing. And I did that because I cannot get the format lined up perfectly where when I run it through my printer from my computer, everything is on the line. It usually is all messed up and I don't like the look of that. So I rather just have it in my own writing. And so I pre-wrote everything and then that is it. So I just want to thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this layout. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, I do hope you consider subscribing. I would love to have you here, and you all have a fantastic weekend. Bye.